Open Heavens on the Go, Friday, April 3rd, 2026. Topic: The Burden Bearer. Memory verse: Matthew 11:28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Bible reading: Isaiah 53:4-5. Surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. The message. In today's memory verse, Jesus invited us to lay our burdens on him. A burden, in this context, refers to a difficult situation that a person must deal with. Often, burdens attach themselves to people against their will, and they cannot remove them on their own. In 1 Kings 17:10-12, the widow of Zarephath had little food left because Elijah had prophesied that there would be no rain or dew until he decreed otherwise. 1 Kings 17:1. God pronounced the judgment through the prophet because of the king's idolatry. Therefore, the widow was suffering not because she committed any offense, but because of the sins of the head of her nation, and there was nothing she could do to get rid of the situation. In 2 Kings 5:1, the Bible tells us that Naaman was rich and famous. However, he was a leper. Leprosy was incurable in those days, and if money or fame could have solved his problem, he would not be in the situation he was in. If leprosy were something he could cut away with a sword, he would have destroyed it because he was a military general. However, he couldn't do anything about it despite his wealth and influence. Beloved, have you been carrying a burden for a long time? Do you have problems that you cannot do anything about? If your answer is yes, I rejoice with you today because there is someone called the burden bearer. His name is Jesus Christ. I join my faith with yours that as you cry to him for help today, he will answer you. Sin is a heavy burden that crushes those under it. When the burden of sin is upon a fellow, the fellow will remain under the devil's heavy yoke until he or she meets a stronger person who can remove the yoke. Mark 3:27 says that no one can enter a strong man's house and steal from him without first tying him up. Jesus is the only one who can deliver those who are weighed down by the burden of sin. Matthew 1:21, Acts 4:12. Are you burdened by sin? Jesus is calling you today. He wants to deliver you and give you rest from the burden of sin if you surrender your life to him. If you have not yet given your life to Christ, acknowledge him as Lord and Savior over your life. Once you do this, he will bear your burden and give you a new life in him. Action point. Jesus is waiting for you to cast all your burdens on him and he will give you rest. Bible reading in 1 year. 2 Samuel 8-11. Hymn for today. What a friend we have in Jesus. The Open Heavens is written by Pastor E.A. Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. God bless you.